So basically what we're going to cover is, are your affiliates adding value? We're going to start with traffic patterns and coupon sites. Then we're going to go to trademark bidders. Then we're going to cover adware. We're going to cover managers and OPMs, that's outsourced program managers, cashback and loyalty sites, self-shoppers, SEO, search engine optimization, and branding. So with traffic patterns, affiliates, if you want a pure value-adding program that's all incremental value, affiliates are supposed to have their own traffic. It needs to be independent of yours, and it should not rely on your own site's efforts. So one thing you need to ask yourself is, do your affiliate sales match your own website sales? And what I mean by this is, if you're going to have a sale, for example, you're going to get a big spike right here because you've been promoting it to all of your customers. So if all of a sudden during that sale, all of your affiliates start rising and have that same pattern, there's a chance that they're just relying on your traffic. So one thing that you can do to help test this, to see if the affiliates actually have their own, is launch that sale a month early, okay? So that way, if the affiliates can cause that spike a month before without any promotion of your own site and to your own customers, they've added value. And then during that sale, you'll get your same spike that already happened. So that's one way to tell who's actually adding value, who has their own traffic, and who's relying on people to come from your site and your own marketing efforts. You can test the traffic. So with coupons, for example, you can remove the coupon code box from your website 100%. And then for your coupon sites, if you choose to work with them, what you can do is you can only show a coupon code box if the person originates from the coupon site. Because there's a very good chance that if there is no coupon code box on your website, then people aren't going to go looking for a coupon because there's nowhere to plug it in. So if the people on the coupon site coming to your site, they would actually have it, and that's when the box will show, to create a positive user experience for your customers that came from those sites. Another thing you can do is you can place coupons next to the box, and this is something I like to do a lot. And what you do is the same coupons that are out there on the coupon sites and in coupon land, you just put them right there. You say coupon codes, click here. And all of a sudden a small little box is going to open up and coupons will show up, and that way they don't have to leave your site. And the coupon sites that are still sending you traffic, they're still adding value to you. You could use multiple cookies. Some networks, I believe ShareSale has this, they allow you to place multiple cookies on each sale. So you can see if an affiliate sent a sale and then the person left to a coupon site and came back. You can also do this with your analytics if you have an advanced knowledge of analytics, where you can see how many different places the person came to your site, then if they left for a coupon afterwards, and then you have to pay a commission on that sale. Another one that I really like to do if you work with them is to, with coupons, put value-adding coupons on top of it. So instead of 50% off or 10% off, what you do is if somebody has a product in, the coupons you put out there, suppose you have blue widgets. Say get 2 blue widgets for the price of 1, or 2 blue widgets for 20% off. So that way you're actually increasing your average order value and you're making the coupons work for you to increase your overall sales. We already talked a little bit about the hosting separate sales. So another thing you can do, and with all of the programs that I manage, we don't work with coupon sites unless they agree to give us extra pushes every month. And an extra push, it could be being in a newsletter, it could be in a category, it could be a featured coupon of the week or the day. Different things like that add a ton of value because they can just drive tons of sales. Some coupon sites have 200,000, 500,000, or 1 million subscribers. So when you're on that once a month, you're going to get a giant influx of traffic. And if your site's good enough and relevant enough, then they're going to shop from you, and that's incremental sales as well. So we're going to skip ahead one thing. So here is a couple of things. Coupon sites are not evil. They actually do add value and they are good for you. If you use this bit.ly URL, you're going to go to my blog and you're going to read a post called Coupon Sites Are Not Your Enemy. And another example I wanted to give you of where coupon sites add value to you is if you use the Google keywords tool. So basically, you're going to see that every month there's 13,600,000 global searches for the term coupons. If you look at the bottom, you're going to see Halloween coupons as 6,600. Now, this is a bit off because Halloween is well over, but there's still searches out there. And so if you're a candy merchant, if you're a costume merchant, if you have anything to do with Halloween and you're in the category for those sites that show up in the top positions for Halloween coupons, those can be incremental sales because guess what? You're not there. These are people just looking for a deal before they even pick a store, potentially. And so that's where coupon sites can really start to add value as well, as if you're in those categories. So please feel free to interrupt if you have any questions or if you want me to clarify anything a little bit more. Don't be afraid. Now we're going to go into trademark bidders. So here's the bad. Trademark bidders are bidding on your domain. Well, if they're bidding on your domain, that's a customer that you already had. You paid to bring them in. You paid to advertise. You paid to get your name out there. All they're doing is taking credit for your current customers, and you're paying affiliate commissions. You're paying network fees. You're paying all these different things that reduce your margin just so somebody can take credit for a customer you already had. Now, there is a slight exception there. Bidding on your trademark with the brand name versus a general name. If you're a brand name, they know about you. But if you're general, like Blue Widgets, for example, there's probably going to be a ton of people bidding on it. If you own like weddingdresses.com, everybody's going to be bidding on wedding dresses that has wedding dresses. You're going to have Vera Wang. You're going to have everybody. So by having your affiliates bid on those trademarks in that time only, you're able to then knock your competitors out of there. But one thing you have to make sure with some of the larger PPC networks like Google is that they do not direct link to your site, because if they're direct linking to you, Google will only show one ad per website. So you need to make sure they're linking to their own sites and driving to you. This can add value to you when you have a general term, and that's your website. Bidding on your domain plus modifiers. A modifier is, in this case, would be the term coupons, coupon codes, discount codes, things like that. So when people go bluewidgets.com coupons, guess what? That's somebody that's already been in your shopping cart more than likely, or is already a customer. They're bidding on that because they know this person's ready to shop. So they're just going to take the person that's almost guaranteed to buy right then and there. And you now have to not only pay to bring that person into your site, but you're going to be paying a commission, you're going to be paying a coupon code discount, you're going to be paying a network fee, your management fee, and everything else just to get a sale that you already had. So modifiers can be a bad thing if they're only bidding on those. And we cover direct linking, where a lot of the large search engines will only show one link and one ad per website. Some of the good things, which we talked about a little bit, are that you get a lot more coverage over the general name. So if you're liquidation, you're going to get more coverage. You're going to be able to knock people out of there, so it's only you showing up, you and your affiliates. And that's going to add value to you. And it also blocks your competitors on your domains. So adware. This is definitely a touchy subject because you will find it at almost every show you go to. You just may not know how it reacts. So if you look at the link on the bottom, affiliatesummit.com/Adam-ASW12, Kelly Stevens from affiliatefairplay.com shot me a nice video. It's about 10 minutes long. And it has 5 different types of adware applications with a complete description of how it's interacting with your site and what it's doing in your program. So I'm going to be quiet for a second while everyone writes that down, because I see a bunch of people writing. And it'll help you to determine all of those applications. We did block out logos. We blocked out affiliate IDs because this is not about outing somebody. This is about educating you about how it reacts, how it affects your program, and everything else. So I encourage you to watch them. It's a very good educational tool for you to take back. So some of the good about adware is that you can show ads over competitors' websites. With PPV, for example, or with some toolbars, you can go and find your biggest competitor, and depending on the way the adware reacts, it can show an ad for your site over a competitor's site. But is that good? You may end up with a cease and desist letter or a full-fledged lawsuit coming at you from your competitors. So you really have to determine what's the risk involved with this, and is the amount of sales I can get from my competitors worth it? Some of these sites that use toolbars on the major affiliate networks, they have exceptionally large shopping communities, some upwards of 500,000 people. So you have to determine, do I want access to these people or do I not want access to them? Now you also have to be able to divide what came from the toolbar, what came from the adware, and what came from the actual community. So you actually have to go technical and figure out how to measure this. One thing that some toolbars have begun to do and some shopping windows over the past few years are to show ads in the SERPs, the search engine ranking positions. So if you type in blue widgets and there will be 10 results there, you may see the logo of that affiliate next to one of the results. So instead of clicking on the top result, they know they're going to get cash back on the 5th result. So they may click on your link there. So that could help you drive more traffic and sales if you have the margin to cover it. The issue is if you don't allow trademark bidding, that adware is still going to show over your trademark on every trademark search that is done for your trademark, and then it's going to take credit that way too. And you'll see how this happens in the videos. The bad. The adware shows over your website some has the ability to set a cookie on your website. Others have the ability to say, click here to save money, click here to receive a coupon. Okay, so when that happens, they didn't refer it to you. It activated off of your email campaigns. It activated off of the PPC campaigns that you paid for to bring this customer in. It activated over your SEO. It never referred you a single customer or visitor. It only poached a sale from you. And this has begun to result in lawsuits recently. You can look them up. You can check out the eBay lawsuit. That's a pretty famous one that happened about a year ago. There's a lot of things that are negative that could happen if you partner with these. One of the examples is a toolbar that overwrites another affiliate's cookie. If that affiliate that you agreed to pay a commission on legitimately sent the sale, which it shows in the video, well, guess what? You broke that contract by allowing that adware to take credit for it for not referring it. That affiliate could potentially take you to court if they know about it and could prove it, which all they have to do is download the adware and show the shopping process. So are your managers and your OPMs, there's a few new people in here, so it's outsourced program managers adding value to you. You have to ask yourself, what are you paying them to do? Is your program on auto approve? If it's on auto approve, do you actually know who's in your program? If it's on auto approve, you could, and you're not able to work with certain states because of Nexus tax law, do you honestly know where everybody is that's in your program? What if you have a children's clothing site, for example, and you're on auto approve? There could be some very adult or negative-oriented sites on there that your brand is now associated with. That could be an exceptionally negative thing for you if you're on auto-approve. There's a lot of things that can go very wrong. So one of the things when you have a program manager is to make sure that they're actually checking and looking through every single site to make sure it meets your company's needs, meets the brand needs of your brand, and that they aren't letting people in that you can't work with based on Nexus tax laws. I'm going to take a quick sip of water. Vegas is a little bit dry. Sorry. Talk amongst yourselves. Yeah, I didn't say I'll give you a topic. So monitoring and managing your affiliates. Are they actually out there looking for affiliates bidding on your trademarks if you don't allow that? Are they monitoring for FTC disclosures on every site? Are they looking for tweets going out about your company with an affiliate link saying this is an ad to keep you within the guidelines of the FTC? I'm not a lawyer, so this is just opinion. But they have to be doing those things, and that's what you're paying them to do. Are they ensuring that you get extra promotions from your affiliates? Are they reaching out to your affiliates on a regular basis to say, hey, we haven't seen sales for a while, but I know you used to do this. We're not currently on this page. Can you put us back on that page? What can we do to work with you? Can we get in your newsletter for this month? Can we do this? Can we do that? That's what you're paying them to do, is to maximize the exposure you get from your current affiliates. Are they ensuring compliance within your program? And with your program, that's your terms and conditions. And are they reporting to you what they found wrong, what they haven't found, or is everything just perfect? And you should be asking them that. Have they educated you on the FTC advertising disclosures? And are they ensuring compliance with that to the best of their ability and leaving paper trails that they're trying to make sure you're following the guidelines? Are they educating you on Nexus tax laws? And are they able to explain them to you a little bit? Now, it's up to you as the client to determine, are you able to, or do you want to work with these people in these states? And that's your decision. That's not your manager's decision or OPM's decision. You need to make that as a company owner or as the person that is in charge of legal for that company. CFOs a lot of the time keep a good eye on that since they're involved with the taxes, and you can always reach out to them and say, hey, this state just passed this. Can you look it over and see if we need to do anything to be able to keep our affiliates in this state? Are they monitoring for adware if you do not want to work with adware? And are they actively recruiting affiliates? Are they at shows like this? Are they sending out emails? Are they picking up the phone and making cold calls to websites? What are they doing to recruit affiliates for you? Are they active on forums? And are they running activation campaigns? Are they sending out activation bonuses? Are they running contests? Or what are they doing to help keep people activating and keep them active within your program? So these are all things your managers and your OPM should be doing. Please feel free to interrupt if you have questions. I see some people going like that. So cashback and loyalty sites. The bad. There are numerous well-known affiliates that do have adware, even though it's hard to find on their sites. They package them and bundle them with downloads. And you'll find that the adware is in the EULA, the End User Licensing Agreement. You have to audit your sales. There's 30, 60, 90, and 120 days. For your cashback and loyalty sites, I highly encourage all of you to see what the return rate, what the cancel rate, and everything else is on those day periods. Mainly because some of them, especially some of the lesser known ones, don't have the fraud control. And 60 days later, if they've made their commissions, you've paid them, you can't reverse the sales, and you're out some money right now. So it's really good to audit your sales. And that also goes over the return period. What's your return period for your store versus your cookie life? And versus the payout period. Are you on a weekly pay period? Are you on a monthly pay period? One thing that isn't always true, but is for this example, is that you do not get customer acquisition through loyalty sites. But I'm going to contradict myself and say the exact opposite in a minute. And basically, a loyalty site member always goes back to that loyalty site to shop. So instead of getting a new customer that's going to keep coming to you, instead of you having to continuously pay out commissions, they're going to keep going back because they know they're going to get money back when they shop with you there. So are you okay, and is your margin large enough to be able to cover not actually gaining a customer, giving out a commission, and potentially a coupon for them to be able to use? So you have to think about that. Can I work with them based on not being able to gain a new customer? We talked about fraud orders a little bit. And then you have to do your profitability measures. Find out what they're promoting and what's actually selling, because if you have a store with 1,000 SKUs, not every SKU can be profitable all the time at your current margin rates, especially with commissions, network fees, and everything else. So you have to really divide out what all goes into my program, what am I paying out with this, and can it fit within my margin if I'm not acquiring a new customer that doesn't go back to them to shop. One thing that can happen that's exceptionally negative with a loyalty or cashback site is if they rank for your name in the search engine. So somebody types in yourdomain.com and a loyalty site shows up in the number 2 spot and says, receive cash back every time you shop at yourdomain.com. All of a sudden, you took a customer that knew about you and wanted to work and always shopped with you anyways, but now they know they're going to get cash back when they shop with you. So all of a sudden, you just lost a customer, and they're going to continue to shop with you, but it's going to cost more for each sale now. So you have to consider that as well. And you should define that in your terms and conditions ahead of time. Some things you can do to avoid that are require no index and no follow tags on the pages dedicated to you. There's different ways to keep yourself out of the search engines on these sites. So some of the good about loyalty and cashback sites, they are one of the best ways to move old inventory fast. If anybody has dealt with warehousing, retail stores, or shop life, you know when the new product comes out, you need to get rid of the old so you can move the new product. And basically with this, you can go out to your loyalty sites because they have instant access to hundreds of thousands of shoppers who are ready to shop. They can do a promotion for you. And because you just need to get rid of it, you can just go straight up to break even or even lower. And these loyalty sites can move your excess inventory in your clearance section like there is no tomorrow. It's amazing how fast they can push it through. It's great exposure for new and small brands. If you're a small brand and you don't have a giant advertising budget, you can't afford to remarket, you can't afford to do AdWords, comparison shopping engines, guess what? They have 200,000 shoppers that can now be your customers or at least have exposure out to you. So by partnering with them, you are now able to get access to 200,000 or whatever their audience is, and you now have people that know your brand, can tell your friends about your brand, and they could really start to grow you a lot faster than waiting for it to go viral. Now, one thing, this is where I'm going back on what I said about no customer acquisition, is that if you go around the affiliate network, which you have to read your contract because this could be against your terms and conditions with the network, you can do a media buy with many of the larger loyalty and cashback sites. And by that, you can place a banner, you can sponsor a newsletter, you can sponsor a forum, you could do a dedicated post. There's a lot of ways. Because they're going to get cash back one time only, but never again, you are acquiring customers because they're not going to get cash back by going there. You're getting your brand in front of them, and you are generating sales. So if you create a good user experience for your customers, all of a sudden, you have now acquired new customers via a loyalty and cashback site. So they actually can be very good to work with. Hi, James. How can I help you?
Question. I mean, have you had any, or have you done any stats to see around kind of new customer acquisition, what the levels are like when you've worked with cashback sites? Because I work for Top Cashback, which is the biggest cashback affiliate in the UK, and which is launched in the
I
US.
know you guys.
And so we've done some stats recently that shows that generally the users are starting their journey from cashback sites. And also when we look at kind of new customer versus existing customer levels from the stats we've had, we've seen that generally kind of our programs have kind of 60% kind of new customers or higher than 60% new customers starting the site. So I just wonder if like you've seen kind of any similar stats or if there's been any kind of
Okay.
research done in the US to support that.
So the question is, have I seen or are there any stats on how many new customers and how much extra brand exposure you can actually gain from a cashback site? James has said that they've seen about 60%. Is that correct? For it. And I do agree with that for a lot of smaller brands. If you're a huge brand like a Disney or something or a Walmart, everybody already knows you. They're just looking for that, the cash back. But for small brands, I definitely agree with you.
I mean, I'd say on big brands as well. I mean, everyone knows Disney, but they don't necessarily know they're going to have a sale, or they don't necessarily know when they're going to buy from them. So I mean, we've seen high new customer stats on like brands like the Body Shop in the UK, which are
Yeah.
the biggest brands, because we've been offering maybe high cashback rates, and that actually gets people that haven't shopped online to maybe shop for the first time. So I think big brands benefit from
So
that.
James's point is that for big brands, when they run promotions, they can get the extra exposure and sales, which is completely true as well. But that's if you're going to give them an extra push and exposure. If you're just going to keep them on that page and they're not going to be on your homepage, no, they're not going to get the exposure from it. You have to actually go out and push that brand. And for the little guys, they can't always afford it with some of the larger ones. Because a lot of the larger sites, I'm not saying yours does, but a lot of the larger sites do charge pretty exorbitant fees for this. So they can't always do it. So it really just depends. Cashback sites are great, and I do work with them. I have a limited amount that I work with, but they are amazing for introducing new brands out to the world. So it just really depends. If you give extra exposure from your site, yes, that person is going to get new customers and they're going to be in front of people. Large brands will get sales when they have a special and when you decide to push that special. But you also have to remember that a large brand has a very loyal following and a lot of followers, so it's easier for them to make the sales through you than a small brand when you do that push. Do you agree or no?
Yeah, I mean, I agree to a large extent. I mean, I think when you go back to saying earlier on about the sales on when you've got a sale period on, and if you see the kind of same peaks. I mean, I'd say that big brands should always look to work, and small brands should always look to work with the likes of cashback sites
Yeah.
to support those sales that they're going to be doing. So yes, you will see a similar spike, but the question then goes back to would you have seen that spike anyway or not? And I think what cashback sites can do, and especially the large ones, is actually support those sales
Yeah.
for brands like.
Well, in the UK, I've worked with you and Quidco and a bunch of other large ones. And so they definitely do it, but they have to have the exposure if they're going to do it. And that's the job of your affiliate manager is to bond with them and to get that exposure and to get that relationship. So once you become friends with these guys, then they'll actually do it and sometimes they'll waive the fees for you. But again, you have to be able to get that exposure with them to get the new customer and the exposure. It's just my opinion. So, is there any other questions so far? Okay. Self-shoppers. So there's two types of them that we're going to go into throughout the slide. You have to ask yourself, are you going to allow self-shoppers in your programs? And I see one of my merchants in here right now that I actually shop through. So thank you for letting me do that. Is the goal of your program customer acquisition? If it is, then the person shopping is not going to be a new customer, so you may only want to pay out one time on that sale, but you have to put it clearly in your terms and conditions. So if it's customer acquisition and the person's constantly using their affiliate link just to shop with you, is that really the goal? And should you tell them, look, we or start a rewards program of your own and just create that type of atmosphere for them instead? So it's not really paying the network fees, but they can still have a discount for being a loyal shopper without having to go through. You have to ask yourself again, what are my margins? And what are these self-shoppers buying? Do they eat away at products that I could have sold without having them self-shop? And so now am I actually losing money? I have 10 blue widgets here, okay? 5 of them went to self-shoppers through an affiliate link. But I know I would have sold 9 of them without. So if you pay a high margin and high percentage, you would have made a lot more money without allowing self-shoppers. At the same time, if they may not shop unless they get that discount, you may not be able to move that inventory. So you have to figure out what your margin is and if you would be more profitable or less profitable with allowing self-shoppers. So one thing a lot of affiliates will do is test the user experience and the product for reviews. So they may shop through their affiliate link. They want to see what customer service is like. They want to see what the experience on the website is like, and they want to see how fast the product comes. One of the merchants on my wedding site, well, that used to be on my wedding site, sold a lot of bachelorette novelties. And I absolutely loved the process when I was looking through because it asked things like the date of the bachelorette party, when you need it by, if it's in another city and when you're traveling. So I made a test purchase for an actual bachelorette party. The products came a week after I got back. It was not happy. I was in an assurance program. I pulled them off my website. I used to convert at 33% with them. I needed insurance the last year, and I tweeted about this too, and it's on my blog, where this insurance company, they did get me an amazing rate. My health insurance kicks butt and it is dirt cheap. Service was awesome, except for the fact that my spam has increased by over 100 emails a day. They sold my email address off to every company on earth. So it became a horrible user experience. So if you don't do one of those like horribly long keyword stuffed URLs and you have loyal readers and loyal followings, your affiliates want to know, how are you going to treat their customers and their readers? Because if their readers come to your site and have a horrible experience and you sell off their names and their email addresses, they're not going to want that because their readers aren't going to trust the referrals and their sales are going to drop. So that's another self-shopper, your affiliate testing out your shopping experience and what you actually do with their information. Then you have non-affiliates, but a current customer who knows what affiliate marketing is. So maybe they just want a discount because they're doing a large purchase. This is where you can start your own little like loyalty program for them too, which could also come or like a continuity program or something like that. But it's just somebody who just wants to get a commission every once in a while for shopping. And you have to determine, do I want this with my customers? Sometimes affiliates will do it. You'll see on a lot of forums, affiliates will test the tracking just to see if they're going to get credit for the sales that they're driving to you. So sometimes they're going to click their links and make a purchase just to see if tracking works. On ABestWeb, they have an entire forum dedicated to tracking issues. And people post, this merchant here did not track. I believe that exists on quite a few forums, actually. And then you have to ask yourself, how valuable is this customer? If you have a product that exists everywhere else and you stop letting them use their affiliate link, they could just go to your competitor and start buying that product themselves through your competitor. So you could end up losing them, which, although you are taking a hit on your margin, you're also taking a hit in your sales. So that's another thing you have to ask yourself with self-shoppers. Are there any questions on that? Hi. Okay. Me. I go and I'm a loyal person to your store. And then I see you have an affiliate program. So I go, I join the program, I click my link, and I shop. And I'm never going to send you a sale. I'm just going to shop for myself. The question was, can you define a self-shopper? Okay. Anyone else? Okay. Sorry. It's really dry here. So search engine optimization, SEO. Are your affiliate links backlinks? This is a question that comes up very often. So yes and no. If you're on a major network or you're using some sort of third-party software, chances are that your links are pointing over to that network's servers. So no, that is not a backlink. If it points to your site, it could be a backlink. So the next version is if you use third-party tracking but not a network, and it does point to your website directly, but it has tracking parameters. That to the search engine could end up looking like an ad buy, a media buy, a paid link, because it knows something's being tracked here. So although it is a backlink, it's not a very strong one, and it's not a complete backlink. Then the time it is a backlink is when it is a direct link to your site and they trust you in your third-party shopping. Subdomains can be considered sometimes if your program's set up where each affiliate has their own subdomain to drive people to. But last August, Google changed subdomains from being unique independent URLs into being internal links. You can find that on the Google blog. So those are the only times where it could be a backlink. So that could boost up the power of your subdomain internal link instead. Do affiliates take away from our internal efforts? That's up to you. Before you have an affiliate program, you should do some strong ORM, that's online reputation management. And what that is when somebody types in your name into Google or into Yahoo or into Alta Vista even, they can basically, the results that show up, you should have those 10 results. There's no reason why any company shouldn't own them, okay? But if your affiliates are showing up, like the cashback site, for example, well, that isn't necessarily good for you because they're not referring you new customers. At the same time, if the Google autofill shows like your domain reviews and you have 9 horrible reviews and only 1 good one, affiliates can actually start to knock that out with their review sites. So that could be a very good time when they are showing up for your trademark in the SERPs, but at the same time, they're adding value to you because the negative reviews are showing. At the same time, having some negative reviews shows that it's a legit company and that it is sort of real. So it's a yes and a no. Showing up organically for trademarks we covered just now. Oh, and another thing with internal efforts. If you have, actually, this is the next one. Should we provide a keyword list? There's benefits. If you have some very high converting terms and you have some affiliates with authoritative sites in that particular niche and category, you can help those affiliates rank for those terms, and now your competitors don't exist there, and you have more of these high volume, high converting terms to drive a lot more sales to you. The bad side of that is if you ever close your program, they still want to make money and they worked hard to get there. So now all of a sudden they're going to flip it out for your competitors, and your competitors are not only going to know which terms you have, but they're going to be getting the traffic you once got. So you really have to be cautious with that, but affiliates can definitely add a lot to your SEO. If you also don't rank for a term, but you know in your PPC campaigns this is super high converting for you, you can go after those top 10. And while you're working on optimizing your own site for those phrases, you can have those sites driving in the traffic and sales for you so you can see what the volume's actually going to be when you get there. And that way you can actually understand how much that keyword is going to be worth to your company and if you should even go after it now that you have them. So it's a great way to figure out the value of a keyword for your SEO efforts as well. Should we pay on sales that come off trademarks only? Yes, Daniel.
Just a quick question. I mean, isn't that wrong to affiliates? Because basically, once your SEO improves and your keyword ranking improves, then you're going to tell them they can't bid on that keyword anymore?
No, this has nothing to do with them bidding. You're the one bidding on the trademark. They have the organic listing.
Okay.
The question is that wrong for you to tell affiliates they can't bid on a particular keyword anymore? Yes, affiliates don't care. They can drive it to your competitor. If they find a similar sales path, it's not going to matter. I can send that keyword elsewhere. We're talking about SEO though, not PPC. So if you're running a PPC campaign and you have a PPC keyword that just converts very well for you, in some of the sites in the top 10 results are affiliate sites, you should try to recruit those sites in while you're trying to rank for those. You're trying to rank anyways for your company.
So you're using them for testing, basically.
No, you're not using them for testing. You already tested it with your PPC campaigns, and you know it works for you. So now that you're going to be trying to rank, they can start linking to you and join your affiliate program and make money with you because they're probably already making money with someone else. So why not recruit them in? And instead of only having your site in one of those spaces, now you have your site in 5 of those spaces. So no, I don't think that's wrong at all. It would be very wrong to tell your affiliates they can't bid on a general term for PPC. That is very wrong. Especially because they're spending their own money trying to give you sales. So, again, just an opinion, but are there any other questions? Yes?
In terms of SEO, what is your thoughts about providing affiliates with product kit in your products, including the product image, the product name, and the product description?
So what you need to do with this is, okay, so this is So the question is, how do you feel about providing your affiliates with a data feed that has all of your descriptions, your images, and all that other fun stuff? So let's start with duplicate content. Are you all familiar with duplicate content and duplicate content penalizations? What that actually is a full-fledged duplicate site, designed, links, anchor text, everything, alt tags, and everything else in there. That is the full penalization. Having the same content is not a duplicate content penalization. It will flip-flop and give a site with more authority, more often than not, some advantage. But with your data feed, what you're doing is taking your individual pages and you're giving away your content that you wrote. So what I recommend doing is writing a completely separate data feed for affiliates, comparison engines, Google Base. You want to have two separate feeds, two separate image names for everything. And that way you can also try to get extra exposure for the images. So instead of just having 3 or 4 images in the image results, now you have affiliates showing up because you gave them authors. Or in your affiliate newsletters, you can also write to them and say, hey, don't forget, change your alt names. Here's a few good ideas or recommendations for alt tags for your images. Here's some modifiers you can put into the data feed to help make it different than everyone else. So you should have 2 separate data feeds, one for your website and one for every channel that uses a data feed. Does that help? Okay. Any other questions so far? Okay.
How many companies do you know that actually have done this, like bridges of like 2 completely different data?
Anyone that's smart. No, I have no clue. Really, I don't know. I know all of my clients, I highly encourage it just because I want to make sure that they get the most exposure, but I have absolutely no idea exactly how many companies do it, but it's a very wise thing to do. I know certain affiliates you'll meet here, they actually download the data feed. When I use a data feed, I change every description, I change every image, I save the image to my server, then I re-upload it and rename it. And then I rename all the alt tags and everything. And that's just because I want my own rankings and I want to know what's going to show up. So, but I highly recommend you take the time to do that with your data feeds, no matter how long it takes. If you have a million, okay, I worked with a Fortune 500 company that had 3 million SKUs in their data feed. That thing was heck. So I set a goal, 50 products a week to change. And you know what? It works over time. Start with your highest clicked on products and viewed products. Start changing those first and just make it so it's manageable and doable. Okay? Do we have any other questions so far? Okay. And we're loading a poll. So it looks like I'm done. So, are there any other questions about anything? What I'm doing tonight? No? So Daniel, after New York, has promised everyone I would sing a show tune at karaoke against my will because obviously, well, actually, most of you don't know me, so yeah, I have a big Broadway blog. It's one of my largest sites. So that could happen, but we're not announcing that yet. Do we have any real questions? Hi. Okay, so the question is, should merchants provide different image tags on their data feeds? And well, some affiliates will do it on their own, but as a merchant, you don't want your content out there on everyone else's site, especially all the content from your pages. You don't want your same image names and you don't want your same alt tags on every other site out there. So I think the merchant should do it. Well, then that's up to them to do it. But if you do give them that stuff, they may like your data feed more, and it could create more click-throughs. If all you're doing is showing an image and a URL or a price, then guess what? You're not upselling or pre-selling that product, and you're making more work for your affiliates. If you give your affiliates a description that says, this blue widget's amazing, it's the newest edition, it has this and this and this, and we're amazing, that's going to get the consumer on their website excited. So that's going to help them to click through and it could potentially help you get more people clicking through and shopping on your site. So you may want to revisit that and write descriptions for them and then encourage them to re-upload the images and redo the descriptions on their own and explain the benefits to them. So the question was the actual information on his site versus the affiliate site, and in the affiliate data feed would be different, yes. They would be different. And you can change the modifiers on it. You can change some of the adjectives. You can change some of that stuff. Just twist it up a little bit and make it a little like salesy for them. When they're on your site, they're already looking for it. But give the affiliate something with like a little bit more sales to encourage the click to come through to your site. Do we have other questions? Okay. Oh, hi. No, you're fine.
Well, where I work, we're having a lot of problems with people sharing our coupon codes on the coupon site. So we were thinking that we would just partner with the coupon sites so that we could diminish the user generated content. But I don't know. I just wanted to get your opinion on what you thought about the coupon sites. I know you covered it a little bit, but if you could just go a little further in depth on the sharing, the coupon sharing, how to prevent that.
So the question is, how can you prevent coupon code sharing? Unfortunately, in the world of social media, everyone loves to share and everyone does everything. With some coupon sites, I have found it's the actual coupon site owner pretending it's a user that submitted it, but they actually put it on. One thing you can do are you can do vanity codes. So if there's specific sites that you want to work with, I will not mention any affiliate sites, but we'll say blue widgets. You create B widget 25, and that could be for that site only. Then you only give credit to that site when that coupon code is used. So that's one way that you can help to slow it down a little bit. But unfortunately, people are going to scrape coupons, and with coupon feeds, that same coupon code gets fed out to every coupon site that subscribes to it. So there's not a lot you can do. A few years ago, we could have said, here's what you do. But now it's become a lot more difficult, especially with everybody wanting to be social and communities growing stronger.
Well, a few of the affiliates on our network said that if we partner with them, they will stop the sharing. That they'll put the box that some users are coded that won't be there. So I don't know.
Well, when you find it, write to that site and say, hey, this is not your coupon. This is for this site. Just so you know, if this is used, you're giving your competitor a sale.
Actually, I have done that. I reached out to some sites and said, can you remove this coupon? And a few of them said, you become our affiliate, we'll remove it. If not, do that.
Yeah. Well, then there's not much you can do. If they're not even an affiliate of yours, then you don't have to pay a commission, so that's really no harm, just to be honest. You're getting that sale without having to pay a commission on it. So now, one thing that could go bad with that actually is if the coupon's expired, that creates a very bad experience for your customers. If they're sitting there trying 5 codes and nothing works, they may become very frustrated. So that's one thing you would have to watch out for as well. So, I saw one hand go up. I'll go right back to you. Hi.
Hi. So actually a very related question. So what happens is sometimes merchants would give a different coupon code for other marketing efforts and then a different coupon code for an affiliate effort, right? And if the other coupon code is more attractive, then the user probably comes through the affiliate site and uses the other coupon because that coupon is also usable.
Did the
But it's not fair to the affiliate if you don't get credited because the coupon is available openly. So how
Okay.
do you deal with that?
So let me see if I have the question right. So the affiliate has their own coupon, but you release a different coupon. So maybe it's through a remarketing campaign where you're bringing someone back in, or it's through an email blast you sent out. So the person came from an affiliate website originally, but uses the other coupon. So you need to define in your terms and conditions how this works. You also need to reach out and say to your affiliates, we have coupons out there which are not to be used by affiliates. The affiliate coupons that you are allowed to use are inside the network or come through our newsletters. Those are the only ones you're allowed to use. You will not be credited on these sales. At the same time, if they sent you the original sale and they're using a coupon, would you still credit the comparison engine or Google AdWords, or would you ask for your click money back? So you have to think about that. It's all how you define your affiliate terms and conditions, and you just want to be very clear with that.
Ultimately, we pay our affiliate commission because they preferred sale. The coupon code at the end was seen at a different site that was initially examined, but the referrer was still the site that where the interaction happened. So ultimately, why should we pay the sales included if the one that had the coupon, they didn't include the sale?
Well, that's what you have to determine inside your terms and conditions. Some merchants will do a split commission. Me being a content affiliate, I don't like that. But you're going to have to define it in your terms and conditions. If you're going to, and so you split the commission 50-50 if they sent the sale, but it's always going to be a touchy subject. There is no right answer. A lot of the private events like Share a Sale Think Tank, well, it's not private anymore. You'll see very heated debates about this. The merchants have to determine this on their own, and they have to decide, is it going to be first click in, last click in, shared commissions? If the coupon's not provided to affiliates, but it's only used to measure a different channel and the affiliate's using it, should we still credit it? And that's just something you're going to have to determine in your terms and conditions. There's no right or wrong answer, and no matter what you do, you're going to upset someone. So it's one of those things. Sorry. Yes?
I was just going to say that in the UK, there's the IAB
Mhm.
put together some voucher code guidelines that all the voucher code affiliates have to sign up to, or the coupon affiliates have to sign up to. And that basically said that with user-generated content, or if you hadn't been given the code yourself, you weren't allowed to monetize that code. So perhaps it's time that something like that happened in the US, where all the networks, joined together and said, this is an area where it's causing problems for consumers because it's invalid codes and so on and so forth. And we want to take a stand and stop affiliates kind of making money out of codes that they didn't provide to them.
So what James is saying is that in the UK, the IAB, are you all familiar with it? It's Internet Advertising Board. They created guidelines for coupon codes and coupon sites saying that, please correct me if I say this wrong, saying that if the coupon code was not for the affiliate channel to be used, you will not be able to receive a commission. And that became the standard for them out there. So he's saying maybe it's time something like that happens in the United States. Unfortunately, we do have a couple of small organizations that are trying to grow and become the voice of the industry, but we don't have anything amazingly solid yet. So when we do, which may happen or may not, that's when that could potentially work for us. So, do you have any other questions? Hi.
What's your feelings on getting rid of coupons and just installing a link and giving it with the discount included through the technology, giving a code?
So the question getting rid of coupons or getting rid of coupon sites?
Getting rid of coupons.
Getting rid of coupon codes. Okay, I actually think coupon codes can be good if you're using them to upsell and make a larger sale. But I don't encourage coupon codes on checkout depending on your brand. If your brand is a high-end brand and you're trying to attract affluent customers, coupons are not going to be that good, and they could actually take your brand down, especially in status symbol wise. Coupons can be used to upsell. If you buy this blue widget and you buy this pink widget, we're going to throw in the purple widget and the adapter for free. So if all your coupons are helping to increase your value, or your coupon could be, suppose the person's only spending $40, but your coupons get free shipping with $75 or more, it could help to up your sale right there. So coupons can work to your advantage, and they can be a very good thing. And your coupon sites, if they're working with you to add incremental value, can be the catalyst to do this.
I was just talking in terms of getting rid of the code itself and putting the tracking right on the link and just
Oh, yeah, you could do that.
simplifying the experience and getting rid of that number with the customer.
Yeah, that works too. I have done that before. Oh, another thing you can do is you can change the word coupon codes or coupon box and change it to tracking code. Nobody wants to be tracked, and that could potentially decrease the amount of people leaving the site. So if you change it to tracking code, you could reduce the amount of people leaving. It's worked sometimes, other times it has a small impact, so it just depends on your customers. Are there other questions? Hi. Oh, you're fine. I'm going to pour some water real quick while you do this.
Well, I work for a moderately small business, and some of our affiliates are pretty well-known affiliates, and their mediabuys are rather expensive. So, do you have any advice for small brands on how
Check
to?
for adware.
What's that?
Check for adware. No, for the small brands. So what you need to do is, how good is your relationship with these affiliates? The question is, so she works for a small to mid-sized brand, and some of these large sites have very large fees for their media buys. What can you do to help get that, get the cost down or get yourself to be able to do a media buy? Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Well, some of the things you can do, offer them vanity codes, offer them higher commissions, offer them something special that will give them an advantage over other people for a short-term period. You don't want it long-term. And you could trade that stuff with them. One thing you don't want to do is direct your customers to them. And I've seen this happen before where a merchant would put that affiliate's logo on their site and say, I just ordered cologne, for example. And I did a big post on this on my blog because I was so angry. And the merchant actually put an affiliate site on their packaging. It was a coupon site. And so when I got that, if I wasn't an affiliate or an affiliate manager, then I would be like, oh, great, now I can get a coupon every time I shop with this merchant. So that merchant's paying commissions. But as an affiliate, when I see something like this, I'm like, wait, am I going to promote this merchant? Which I don't actually promote them. But they're just going to start sending my traffic to my competitors, and I'm going to lose them to these coupons. So one thing you want to try to avoid, though, is tweeting out their sites to your customers. Try to not do that because you don't want to anger your other affiliates, and you don't want to lose your customers to always having to give out discounts. But try to do different things like that. Or if you have a blog that's completely separate from your website, has nothing to do with it, which is not a good SEO practice. You should never do it. But basically, you can offer them a link maybe from there or something like that. So there's lots of ways. Just try to get creative and negotiate. Or do like a co-branded media buy. See if there's a company that's complementary to yours. So if you sell blue widgets and someone sells red widgets, why don't you both split that and do a split banner ad or a split forum announcement? And that way you can both cover the costs together. So there's a lot of ways to do it. You just have to get a little bit creative, and you have to make sure you've built a solid relationship with that affiliate. Do we have more questions? Yes? No? Okay, well, again, my name's Adam Riemer. I run Adam Riemer Marketing. You can find me on Twitter. My handle is Rollerblader, and my blog is adamreamer.me. Thank you all very much for coming.